In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Realist Temple on Earth. Of course, I am the gatekeeper of this internet ministry, known here on YouTube and Daily Motion, Vimeo, Facebook, and who knows where else, MySpace. I am known as the mighty Angel Something Up 7, your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik, Ibn'rad. Oh man, I just had a shower. I couldn't really get to sleep. It's early in the morning, like 1 or 2, something like that. What, 3, 4? My clock is tripping. But anyway, I decided to make a video. So the topic that I've chosen is that we as black people, we as any person besides Caucasian or white European, none of us should accept the definition of what racism is. And I'm going to tell you why. It's in the dictionary. There are attempts by certain folks to categorize and place everybody as a racist. And that's not true. When you know the origins of racism, when you know the origins of white supremacy that caused racism. Let me make this point for you. First of all, let us look at the definition of the word that they give us. It's wonderful. And by that definition, they can claim you can be a racist, I can be a racist, everybody can be a racist as long as you feel as though your race is superior over others. Black man and woman and anybody other than white, listen to me. Listen now. Who created the definition of racism? Only white people. There is nobody else involved in the creation of this word. This is just like allowing a bar, a liquor store, to define what drunk is. Now, if you allow a bar, a strip club, someplace where you can get drunk, how do you think they are going to define drunk? Do you think they are going to define drunk in a manner that does not benefit selling liquor? Or are they going to design a definition for the word drunk so that it harms them? They are not going to define a word that harms them. They are going to design a word that benefits them, especially if they are the only participants in the creation of that word. So it is with racism. Racist. The only one involved in the creation of the definition of this word are white people. There are no Chinese. There are no Japanese. There are no Indians. There are no Africans. It's just white people. So they are going to design the word. So they are the only real racists, but they're going to design the word to include everybody. So that pressure is not on them. And what makes them the high authority? I am not your slave. I can think for myself. I can see through your trick. What makes you believe they are the ultimate? Oh, it's in the dictionary. Everything in the dictionary ain't right, because the people who write the dictionary ain't right. Go back and research the history of the people who wrote the Bible. What type of environment was the word racist, racism? What is it? How was it created? By people that love black folks, people that love Chinese, people that love Native Americans, or was the words designed by people who had the mentality of hatred for darker people? This is a trick. And again, what makes them right? Now, there are many words in the dictionary that I can accept. But when it comes to words like this, and there's other educational facts and figures that they give you, you have to be cautious, because you have to understand the source. Now, if the people that wrote the dictionary, if they were righteous and good-hearted people, then that's different. But let me tell you, let me tell us the type of people you're dealing with. You're dealing with a people who at one time said that black folks had tails swinging in the jungle on the tails back and forth. Was that true, or is it a lie? Bring it. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. I'm doing a Farrakhan on you. Talk to me. They used to draw Japanese people with these buck teeth and big eyes and looking all goofy. And when you met an actual Japanese person, did they look like that? Was that a true caricature or not? Is it true or was it false? Oh, come on. We was told there was weapons of mass destruction. We're going to bring this up to date, because there's plenty of lies and deceit coming from these persons. Have you found your weapons of mass destruction? But 45,000 American soldiers gave their life on this lie. They sell you drugs. They know something is wrong with the drugs when they sell you the drugs. And then later on, when you find out, they have made billions and billions of dollars, so the little lawsuits that come out don't mean nothing. This is the type of people that you're trusting. And I'm not only talking to people of color, but I'm also talking to white folks. You got a gang that's in control of the media. You got a gang that's in control of the politics, control of law. They ain't right. So false flagging Angel Snubbed Up 7, trying to paint me as the liar, trying to paint me as the racist, trying to paint me as these things, which I know I'm not, because you have no proof. But we do have proof that from out of your government comes racism. It was the white man that created race. Prior to the Europeans, nobody was tripping off the color people's skin. It was created to help put them in a superior position and to justify the evil, the terrorism of darker people in order to get there. Will Smith was pulled over because he was a black man driving a fancy car. Then the officer realized, this real Will Smith. These are the people that you trust with a definition. You're going to call yourself a racist, and you can't be, because in order to be a racist, you have to be part of a system. Racism ism. It comes from out of a system. It cannot be enacted by an individual. People can hate, they can be prejudiced and all these things, but it takes a system to help you act upon your racism.
I only have a few minutes, so let me get straight down to business. And that business is to give you the true definition of what a racist is. Contrary to popular belief, and I don't care what you read in a dictionary, because the dictionary is designed by racists. So if the dictionary is designed by racists, you don't think that they would define a word in a manner just to condemn themselves, because they know what they are. But they want you to believe that you are like them, but you don't have the benefits. And I will explain this as quickly as I can within this time frame. In order to be a racist, there first must be race. Prior to the domination of the European Caucasian, to my knowledge, and you can teach me a little something, there was no conflict among human beings about something called race or the difference in human species. The human family was divided due to religion. They were divided due to language barrier. They were divided due to geography, things of that nature. But there was no mention of race. There is a lie that they made up talking about the Jews and Egyptians. That story never happened. Even so, there is no human race called Jew. A Jew is one who believes in the prophet Moses and that which he was written called the Torah. I could be a Jew. You could be a Jew. A Jew, those who are called Jews, are not a race of people. But upon the advent or the rise of the European Caucasian people into power, they created something called race, a division of the human species. And they decided, in order to put themselves on top of the world, that there must be a difference. And they noticed that there were all these dark people, and they were the minority. So in order for them to gain strength, so in order for them to gain power, and for them, in order to justify the method in which they were going to gain that power, they manufactured or created what we call white supremacy. White supremacy is the idea of taking a race of which they created. They are the ones who created the idea of race and placed people into these categories of color, of the skin. And they decided to make their race superior over all the other darker races. And since they were superior, and since they were civilized, it was their duty to bring civilization to the savages, these dark people. They created and designed systems in order to oppress. Their religion was used to oppress darker people. And if you, in the early versions or the early interpretations of the Bible, you'll notice these racial references where they could be used to oppress and harass darker people. So you have to have first invent race. Black people did not invent race. Then you must design a system to make yourself superior. There is no system designed by black people or Asians or anybody. This was done by Caucasian people in their very beginnings so they could become rulers of the earth. And with this system, they have done it. The system, this thing called white supremacy, has influenced everybody on the planet. So, when you act upon the creation of white supremacy, then you get racism. And racism is the actions taken upon this idea of making your race superior over another, that which we call white supremacy. Do you get it? And so you begin to design government, law, education to benefit only your race. You teach, and when you conquer darker people, then you teach them that you are superior and they are nothing. They are savages. They were born to serve you. You are better because of my race. And then those caught up in white supremacy, the lighter you are, the better you feel over those who are darker. So even if you are black people, if you are lighter skinned black, because of white supremacy, because of racism, because your lighter skin will give you an advantage and give you a privilege, then this is a result of white supremacy. And so out of white supremacy becomes slavery, comes Jim Crow, comes all these different things in order to oppress, harass. Black people and darker people were legally enslaved. They were murdered. The white man went out around the world to conquer darker people and justified it because he was superior. And then when blacks became part of his country, the laws and the education, everything is designed to hinder the dark. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth. I am the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snub 7, your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I want to make something very, very clear. And you can challenge me all day and all night. And when it's all said and done, you will be shown that there is no such thing as black racism. There's no such thing as a black racist. Don't exist. Because in order for there to be a black racist, you must have black supremacy. And black supremacy does not exist. Mind you, The potential is there. The potential for anything is there. But at this time, it does not exist. At this time, within black people, or even African people, dark people in general, there is no outcry. There is no longing for no black supremacy movement. It's not wanted. And without the people supporting that ideology or being conditioned in that manner, it cannot exist. So what I did in order to begin this talking about this topic, I did a quick Google search. Now mind you also, I did not really get into the Google search, but I just wanted to see what does the government, what does the intellectual, what are they saying about black racism? There is no government statistics on black racism that I know of. I don't see any because it don't exist. What are the colleges and the universities, what are they talking about? Are they bringing up the subject of black racism? No, they're not talking about either. It does not exist. Just because a group of black people beat up or even murder a white person based on because the fact that they're white or whatever race. That's not racism. Maybe a hate crime, because I hate you because you white, or you was Chinese, or you a homosexual, or whatever. That has nothing to do with racism, being a racist. These was individuals that committed a crime. No more, no less. A black person can hate you. Don't make him a racist. He can be prejudiced and biased in his own capacity. He can deny you a job as an individual. That's not racist. That's prejudice, bigotry, hatred upon this one particular person. Exactly what is racism? Racism is the capacity or having the power. You don't want to hear it, but this is how it goes. Racism is having the power and the capacity to translate your bigotry, your hatred, your prejudice into laws, into customs, into policy, into religion, in order to harass or make the other race inferior to you. Black people are not in that position. That's why in white supremacy, you can have hatred for black people, bias, but the law will support you. So back in the day, you could hang a black man, lynch black people outright in the open, but the law, the government supported bigotry and that hatred. When was the last time that you seen a white man be lynched, be murdered? And then the government ran, controlled by blacks, said that's a good thing. Where do you see where black people forced separation of the races? When was the last time you seen black people enslaving whites and made white people accept African names, taught the white people they were inferior to black, denied white people equal housing and jobs, and the laws had to be made in order for the black to accept equal treatment to whites. Y'all know. Stop being silly. Here's another perfect example. I was speaking with my assistant minister, last night. And a perfect example of this was when I was locked up in a mental institution. Their hatred and my hatred, two different things. Now, I got a certain amount of power. I could catch a doctor and punch him in the face. But see, not only can that doctor give the order to punch me in my face, he can have me locked down. He got the power to write me as a dangerous criminal, never to be let loose again. See, I can punch him in the face. I got the power to punch the doctor in the face. But that's it for me. In fact, my violence towards him makes my situation worse because he got more power and control. He can deny me the right to visit my family. He can deny me the right to go to the store. He can look at all the powers he got. He can try to force medication on me. The only thing I can do is get away with a slap. And anybody that has been labeled insane, that label is on you and it's on your record. You have that on you for the rest of your life. Is that a good label to have? Hell no. So what is my little slap? What is a beating by black individuals on white folks now and then? Because when they get caught, whose justice system are these black racists are going to be under? Are they going to go to are they under black law? No, they coming to white people. And what you going to do to them black racists? You know what you're going to do to them. You're going to put them under the prison. You're going to give them pure hell, as much hell as you can give them. If not, kill them. Look at this. Look, I speak English. I'm a black man, can't speak no African tongue. You got all these black people here in this country, don't know nothing about Africa at all. And they proud to carry on your European name. That's racism. That's the real racism. Your dictionary is corrupt. Everything that you write about being black in your dictionary, because you hate dark, it's always something bad. And then you want us to accept your definition of what racism is. That's the same thing as saying that the court would accept the definition of what a rape is by a rapist. We would be fools and stupid to accept the definition of what racism is by the racists, the true racists. During my Google search, when I was trying to find out about black racism, the only thing I could find and kept popping up was what white people did to blacks. And then, for those of you who keep talking this black race, the only thing information I found about so-called black racism was y'all YouTube videos. It don't exist. So why are these white people, why are these Caucasians, first of all, they want to be seen as angels. You're not angels. You are the children of murderers. You are the children of people who enslave other people. You are the children of rapists. You are the children of deceivers, liars, and killers. That's who you are the children of. You try to paint yourself like you come from good stock. You come from evil and wicked stock. And you continue your wickedness with this black racism garbage, trying to make the victim the perpetrator. So you have people like the genocide scrolls, block them, Kilo 34, these Caucasian people that hide behind a picture on YouTube. What is their intent? Their intent is to try to cause fear among white people that the black might try make a black supremacist move on them. Even though it's very clear, black people are not interested. There's no African country. There's no group of black people. A nation. Racism is a people on a people. It's not an individual act. It is this group of people who call themselves white, who are conditioned to be hateful and prejudiced, and they are conditioned to believe they are better. And then when these darker people live within their society, they have laws, they have education, they have all these systems designed to keep them in an inferior position. There's no black nation, there's no country, there's not even a black neighborhood in America that's doing anything to white people like that. But you have neighborhoods in America right now to this day that don't want no blacks there. And you know it. And you got laws, and you have customs, and the people, white people have been conditioned. It's no big deal. Now for me, I don't want to be in your neighborhood anyway. But we're just saying, just for the sake of argument, this black racism don't exist. Bring your evidence here. Real evidence. It don't exist. You can scream, everybody can, you want the black people to be racist. Well then, if you want me to be a racist, I want my white slaves. I want to be placed in a position to discriminate against white people. I want to put y'all 70%, 80% in prison and jail, just like you do us. I want you to go to jail for longer periods of time for your powder cocaine and give 2 months in the slammer for crack cocaine. I want to be able to do what you have done to us. But you want to make us racist, but we don't get the benefits. If I want to be a black racist, then I want the damn benefits. Y'all so fake. The bottom line is, instead of calling people names and trying to make the victim the perpetrator, you should try to straighten up this mess your forefathers created. Or are you like your forefathers? Y'all like being on top. You like controlling things. You like your images on TV. Every time you turn on the TV, radio, news, and government, it's all nothing but you. You really like that. That's why a lot of black people don't like you. Because you're arrogant like that. And that's why you can't be trusted. Because you have been conditioned to see us as nothing and nobody. Jot down your comments. My time is up. Could have went on a little longer, but this is sufficient. Because ain't nobody going to come here and tell that lie that black racism exists. Thank you for listening. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad. This was, and is, the Reality's Temple on Earth.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth. Of course, I am the host or the gatekeeper of this internet ministry. On YouTube, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Nuff 7. Your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I hope you enjoy the video that follows this introduction. Again, peace forever and always, and respect you.
Peace forever and always. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad, and welcome once again to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth. Excuse me, my eye's been hurting me lately, so please don't mind the shade. Plus, it gives me that Stevie Wonder look. Oh, I'm going to continue my little laugh. Because really, this video is the subject is very funny to me. I got to laugh. Because we actually fall for the crap when these people bring it to us. What is it that they bring? This thing called reverse racism. What the hell is reverse racism?
Well, you see, fella, it's when us white guys are discriminated against because you guys are given a privilege over us, and
oh man, that's a joke. That's a joke. Okay, reverse racism. Let us first talk about normal racism. Just the average racism, okay? Let's talk about that. Okay. First of all, in order to have racism, you have to have one race dominant over another. Okay, and in this case, it was Caucasian people dominant over those who call themselves black. During this racism, what happened to the black folks? We were lynched, we were enslaved, we were castrated, our mothers and sisters and aunties were raped, we were denied equal opportunity in education, in government, had to fight for civil rights, we were beaten by the police, jailed, we were sprayed with fire hoses, bit by dogs, we were denied the right to vote, etc., etc., etc. That's racism. Okay, now, let's talk about reverse racism. Alright, so you say it's reverse racism because affirmative action allows a black person to have this privilege to go to a certain school or given a certain opportunity to have a job. That's reverse, and you were denied that right. Now, first of all, if you were denied that right, it wasn't black people that did it to your dumb ass. It was your lawmakers, your senators, your congressmen, your white president that done this. So I don't know what you blaming black folks for. We can't do nothing because we're not the dominant. We don't have no dominant power. So what the hell you angry at black folks for? We didn't do it. Then, prior to affirmative action, prior to these giving Negroes some scraps so they shut the hell up programs, prior to that, you was given all the opportunities anyway. Because if it wasn't for you being so damn greedy, and if you would share just a little bit with your ex-slave, there would be no need for no affirmative action and reverse discrimination. There's no such thing as reverse discrimination because black people don't control nothing for anything to be reversed. That's stupid. You want somebody to fall for that garbage. Ain't no such thing as reverse discrimination. Because black people don't have no power and we're not dominant enough to do anything. Your people made the law. White folks is the one who voted and brought into existence affirmative action and all these other programs that you believe that if for some reason black folks have some kind of privilege. What privilege do black people get? We get the privilege of paying taxes and getting nothing. We have to earn and scrape everything that we get. And you get angry because we get a few scraps. All the taxes that black people in this country make or pay. Y'all sick. You don't want black folks to have nothing. Then you want to get upset when black people stand up and talk about we want to leave. Who want to leave? Who wouldn't want to leave a place that abused you? But see, also you know that the Negroes are just like the abused woman. They don't mind. They are afraid. They can't make it on their own without you. Like most women stay with that man because they don't believe they can make it without him. So they continue to bear his abuse and his degradation. We as a people have become content. And then just because you gave Jay-Z a good job, just because P. Diddy got a good job, Kobe Bryant and Shaq, they got good jobs, we're supposed to be satisfied. There's 60 to 70 million black people in this country. They don't make no kind, they don't have the opportunity Shaq had. Even though they might play basketball. They don't have the opportunity that Beyonce or Jay-Z. It's 60 to 70 million. What you gonna do with those? And then they take advantage of affirmative action to try to get a little something, and your ass don't want that. Reverse racism. How many black people hung y'all ass? How many black people raped your great-grandmamas and sick dogs on you and made a slave out of your ass? And how many black people was dominant over you? Don't bring that. You must think you're talking to a fool. And the average black person that you probably talk to probably are in that category of being a fool. Because they don't want to offend you. I don't give a damn about offending your ass. You ain't did nothing to...
Peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth. Your host is his divine masculine brother AdMinister Taalik Ibn'rad.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth. I am your host, your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Every time I talk about Caucasian people, white people, I prefer to say Caucasian. I don't know where this white stuff come from. It's Caucasian person. Those who have origins in Europe, primarily from the Caucasus Mountains region. They even call themselves Caucasian. White means pure. White means virgin or righteousness. And we know, according to the history, not Brother Taalik wrote, but according to the history they wrote, they are not white. They are not holy. They are not righteous. So to say or call this these people, white, is being disrespectful and an insult to white, racist Caucasian. And I hope that those of you of whom are my viewers and subscribers that are Caucasian, you understand where I'm coming from. But I'm not going to beg nobody to understand. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. Remove my video, YouTube. That's the best you're going to get. That's the best you can do. Because you're not going to argue with me, because I'll smash you. Because I'm telling you the truth. Not according to my history. I have not written no history of you. This is coming from your history. As a people, not as individuals. We know there are exceptions to the rule when it comes to anything. But as a people, as a so-called race, the Caucasian race should not be called white, because it is far from being white. With that said, I wanted to respond to a comment. And the comment was, someone said that they believe that the majority of Caucasian people are not racist. If the majority of Caucasian people were not racist, then there could be no systems in order to support their dislike, their hatred, or whatever, in order for them to do, in order for racism to exist. Now, many Caucasian people may not try to be racist, per se, but they have been conditioned, just like black people have been conditioned, to want to see themselves in a superior position. And many blacks see themselves in an inferior condition. So they don't mind. So since they are inferior, most black people don't care nothing about white folks running every damn thing. They don't have any problem with that. They don't care nothing about race mixing, because they are here to make sure that the superior does well. See, Brother Taalik's videos get deleted, they get removed, because I don't want you to do well. But I am fair and I'm just. Let us be equal. But you don't want equality. You want to be better than black people. If the majority of Caucasians were not racist, how could white supremacy still exist? It's impossible. Slavery in America existed for hundreds of years because the minority, who were those who thought like the abolitionists, had no power. The majority ruled. So, but now, if the abolitionists or those white people who were against slavery became the majority, how could slavery exist? It would not have existed. They would have stopped it. So, it's not common sense and it's not logical, nor is it rational to say that, wow, that you might want to feel better But that's not the truth. It doesn't make any sense that white supremacy and racism still exist, but the majority in control are not racist. If the racists were a minority, then white supremacy, racism could not exist, because that minority would be just a group. It would just be an organization. But racism is in education. Racism is in employment. Racism is in housing. Racism is in every facet of this country. And you can talk about a system. It's a system that those who are in power continue to hold on to, because they are racist themselves. But these racists know how to smile. These racists have taken the hood off their faces. They know how to deceive you better. Instead of lynching you from a tree, they get you caught up in the legal system and lynch you. I'm a victim. Oh yeah. They continue to deny you access to the opportunities. In order to make it in America, black people have to strive 10 times as hard. But racism, the majority are not racist. That's your delusion. You are delusional. Those who have power are racist because they the ones make the decision. Now, little white guy Bob down the street and little white woman Susie down the street, they don't have no power. They don't have no influence. They try to pay their bills from day to day just like anybody else. But those white people in power and influence, they like their position. They like being better. They like being better than black people. They like being better than poor, what they call poor white trash. Y'all know that. Get off of it. Come on now. Stop living in la-la land. Delusion. Call your white racist people out. Call them out. Or are you just as racist as they are? A deceiver. You're not going to trick me. I will treat you fair. But I got my eye on you. When somebody lies to you, when somebody deceives you, they might say they're sorry, but you gotta keep an eye because they got a history. That's why y'all don't like to hire felons. If you was convicted of robbing a bank, how many banks gonna hire you? Because you got a history and you known to steal. So don't think, even though I give you justice, and I would give you fairness, I'm still going to keep my eye on you. Don't think. Until you prove yourself worthy of trust. And many of you have not proven yourself worthy of trust. That's what I wanted to say on that. Jot down your comments. You might disagree, and you have the right to do so. I'm not going to flag your video because you disagree. Y'all, childish. This is your brother Taalik, Ibn'rad. Thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. We must talk about this thing called race. This was and is the Reality's temple on earth. And let us talk about this open and honestly, and without fear of, oh, you a racist, you all that corny stuff. Let's talk about it. Peace out.